We will now discuss some special products. It means multiplying some special polynomials. Let's have a look at what these special products are. Let's now develop a formula for finding the square of a binomial. That is a special product. In other words, one binomial multiplied by itself, the square of a binomial. For example, multiply a plus b all squared. What does that mean? It means a plus b multiplied by a plus b. Well, a plus b all squared is a plus b times a plus b. Now, what is the method of multiplying a polynomial, a binomial with another binomial? Well, we will first take a and multiply it with the second polynomial. So that is a times a plus b. And then we will take this plus b and multiply it with a plus b. So this will be a times a plus b times a plus b. Let's now multiply. Now a times a is a squared, a times b is plus ab, plus b times a is ba. Remember, ba and ab are the same thing. Plus b times b is b squared. Now, the middle terms, ab plus ab is actually 2ab. You get a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. That's a formula, is good to remember. A plus b all squared. What do you get if you square a plus b? What do you get? You get a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So tell me, if you take the square of a plus b, now I know very often students tell me a plus b all squared is a squared plus b squared. No. How many terms are there in the expansion of this? A plus b all squared means a plus b times a plus b. It produces 3 terms. Look at the 3 terms. A squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Now let's analyze these 3 terms. A squared. A squared is the square of the first term. Now look at the middle term. Plus 2ab. Now this sign, the sign of the middle term will be the sign you see here, plus 2ab. Look at that. A is the first, b is the second term, and look at the 2 there. Can you take and multiply all of them? 2ab. That is the middle term. So there, 2ab. What is the last term? The square of the last term. So, a plus b all squared can be obtained. How many terms are going to be there? 3. What is the first term? The square of the first, a squared. What is the middle term? Plus 2ab. What is the last term? Plus b squared. Very simple. Okay, but I know it's not very simple for you, is that right? So a plus b all squared produces 3 terms. What are the 3 terms? The first term is a squared, is the square of the first term of the binomial. The middle term is 2ab. 2ab. The product of the 2 terms multiply by that power, 2ab, that's the middle term. And the third term is the square of the second term of your binomial, b squared. Well, can I use the same principle to do this? Y minus 4 all squared. Alright, how many terms will there be? Can you tell me how many terms will there be in the expansion of y minus 4 all squared? There will be 3 terms. Alright, what is the first term? The first term is the square of the first term here. That is y squared. What is the middle term? The middle term is obtained by multiplying the first term with the second term. Y times negative 4 is negative 4y, and then multiply that with the power. Negative 4y times 2 is negative 8y. That's the middle term. And what is the last term? The last term is the square of the second term here, which is the square of negative 4. Remember, when you square a negative number, it becomes positive. So the last term will always be positive. It will be 4 times 4, 16. So I'm going to write that down in my whiteboard. So the first term will be the square of that, will be y squared. The middle term will be, multiply the two numbers, negative 4y, and now multiply it with the 2, negative 8y, plus the square of the last term is 16. It's actually that simple. Okay, let's write down these steps. The first term of this binomial is y, and the second term is negative 4. So this binomial, the two terms of the binomial are y is the first term and negative 4 is the second term. The result of multiplying this will have 3 terms. What are the 3 terms? The first term is the square of the first term, that is y squared. The second term is the power multiplied by, multiply the two numbers, y times negative 4. So y times negative 4, multiply the two terms of the binomial and then multiply it with the power. So that will be the second term. 2 times y times negative 4, and that is negative 8y. And the third term will be the square of negative 4, that is 16. And therefore the result is y squared minus 8y plus 16. Is that difficult? Well, if this is difficult, we will go and do our same old method. Alright, what's the same old method? Let me show that to you on my whiteboard. Y minus 4 all squared is y minus 4 times y minus 4. Now, how do you expand this? First, y times y is y squared. Now, y times negative 4 is minus 4y. Alright, we finished multiplying. If you look, we multiplied y with the y and y with the negative 4. We finished multiplying with y. Now we multiply with negative 4. Negative 4 times y is negative 4y. So negative 4 times y is negative 4y. And negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. You see? Once again, y times y is y squared. Y times negative 4 is negative 4y. And now multiply with this negative 4. Negative 4 times y is negative 4y. And negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. And now add the negative 4y to negative 4y. What do you get? Negative 8y. So you get y squared minus 8y plus 16 is the result. So it doesn't matter what method you do, as long as you get it right. Okay, but using the formula, I hope you will find it more convenient. Okay, let's move on to another one. Multiply 3z plus 5 all squared, 3z plus 5 all raised to the power of 2. Now, what is the first term of this binomial? The first term of this binomial is 3z and the second term is 5. How many terms will be in the expansion of this? There will be 3 terms. Now, what is the first term of the expansion? The first term of the expansion is the square of the first term. That is, look at this, 3z squared, square whole of it. That will be 9z squared. That will be the first term of the expansion. What will be the second term of the expansion? The second term of the expansion is obtained by multiplying the two numbers together. What is 3z multiplied by 5? 15z. Then multiply that with the power. So that will be 30z. The second term will be multiply 3z with 5 and then multiply it with that power 2. 2 times 3z times 5 is 30z. And the third term is the square of the second term of the binomial. That is 5 squared equal to 25. Now, what is the result? 9z squared plus 30z plus 25 is the result. Alright, let me go to my whiteboard and do this the traditional way. That is, write it as 3z plus 5 times 3z plus 5 and see how we get the result. Watch me do that. Now that is 3z plus 5 times 3z plus 5. What do we do? First multiply 3z with 3z. What is 3z multiplied by 3z? Equal to 9z squared. Then multiply the 3z with the positive 5. That will give me plus 15z. And then multiply. We finished multiplying with 3z. Now we go to the plus 5. Plus 5 multiplied by 3z. What is that? What is 5 multiplied by 3z? That will be 15z. And now multiply 5 by 5. That will be 25. And now add the middle terms. 15z plus 15z is 30z. That will be 9z squared plus 30z plus 25. So, whatever method you choose, you can choose to do it like this, or you can choose to use the formula I gave you. You'll get the same result. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Multiply 2a plus 5b all squared. 2a plus 5b all squared. Now, what are the two terms of this binomial? The first term is 2a and the second term is 5b. Now, how many terms will be there in the expansion? In the expansion, there will be 3 terms. Okay? What will be the first term? The first term will be the square of this first term. Will be 2a all squared. That will be the first term. And that will be 2 squared is 4, 4a squared. Alright, what will be the second term? The second term is obtained by multiplying these two terms. That is 2a multiplied by 5b. What do you get if you multiply 2a and 5b? You get 10ab. And then you multiply that with the 2, the power. That is the second term. The second term is 2a multiplied by 5b. And the result is multiplied by 2. Now that is 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. AB is the second term. And what is the last term? The last term is the square of the last term here. The square of 5b. That will be 5 squared b squared. That is 25b squared. So the result is 4a squared plus 20ab plus 25b squared. Shall I do it the other way around for you? Okay, give me a second. Let's do that way. 2a plus 5b all squared is 2a plus 5b times 2a plus 5b. What's the first thing to do? Multiply 2a with 2a. What do you get? You get 4a squared. And 2a multiplied by 5b. What does that give you? They're both positive. Gives me plus 10ab. And now we finished multiplying with this 2a. Now 5b times 2a. What is 5b times 2a? That will be 5 times 2 is 10. b times a is ab. And now multiply 5b with 5b. What is 5b times 5b? It's plus 25b squared. And that will be 4a squared plus 10ab plus 10ab is 20ab plus 25b squared. That is the same result we got from our previous method. So do any of these methods, but you must be able to do this without making a mistake. Okay, let's do another one. Alright, this is now 5p squared plus 6q squared all raised to the power of 2. This is a binomial. There's 2 terms. What is the first term? The first term is 5p squared. And the second term is 6q squared. Alright, how many terms will be in the expansion of that? The result will contain 3 terms. What will be the first term? The first term will be the square of 5p squared. Can you tell me in your mind, what is, if you take 5p squared and square the whole thing, what will be the result? 5p squared all squared will be 5 squared is 25. P squared squared multiply the powers will be p to the power of 4. Alright? So 5p squared raised to the power of 2 will be 5 raised to the power of 2, that is 25. P squared raised to the power of 2 is P to the power of 4. Alright, can you tell me what will be the middle term? Have you got the hang of it now? How do you find the middle term? To find the middle term, you first multiply the first term with the second term. What do you get? 5 times 6 is 30. P squared times Q squared is P squared Q squared. It is 30 P squared Q squared. And now after multiplying the two numbers, multiply that with the 2. So the middle term is 5p squared times 6q squared. And now multiply that with 2. That will be 60p squared q squared. Okay, what is the last term, the third term? The third term is the square of this quantity, 6q squared raised to the power of 2. What is that? 6q squared raised to the power of 2. 6 raised to the power of 2 is 36. Q squared raised to the power of 2 is q to the power of 4. Okay, so the result now is 25p to the power of 4 plus 60p squared q squared plus 36q to the power of 4. I am not going to do the other way for you with this one. Okay, try that on your own. You see whether you can produce the same result. Okay, another one. 8a minus 3b all to the power of 2. Well, this is a binomial. What are the two terms? It's important to identify the two terms. The two terms are, the first term is 8a and the second term is negative 3b. Yes, this is negative. So, the first term is 8a and the second term is negative 3b. Now, I wrote here 3b, but that is negative 3b. Okay, and in the expansion, we will get 3 terms. And what is the first term? The first term is 8a raised to the power of 2. What is 8a all to the power of 2? 8 squared is 64 times a squared. That is the first term. What is the second term? For the second term, you multiply 8a by negative 3b. This time, multiply a positive number by a negative number. What do you get? 8a times negative 3b is negative 24ab. And now multiply that with the 2. So the middle term is 8a times negative 3b multiplied by that power 2. What is that? Multiply the numbers. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 times negative 3 is negative 48 AB. That is the second term. Okay, what is the last term? The last term is square of negative 3b. And what is the square of negative 3b? Squaring the number negative 3 will give me positive 9. B squared. That will be 9b squared. And what's the result therefore? 64a squared minus 48ab plus 9b squared. Okay, let's do it the other way around. Write it as 8a minus 3b times 8a minus 3b and multiply it. Do you want to do it along with me? I'm going to do it on the board. You do it on your paper. Okay, this will be 8a minus 3b multiplied by 8a minus 3b. Alright, take care. 8a multiplied by 8a. What is 8a multiplied by 8a? Is 64a squared. Now multiply 8a with negative 3b. Don't forget the sign. 8a times negative 3b is negative 24ab. And now we finished multiplying with this 8a. Now multiply with negative 3b. What is negative 3b multiplied by 8a? That would be negative 24ab. Now multiply negative 3b by negative 3b. What is negative 3b multiplied by negative 3b? That will be plus 9b squared. And to simplify, the middle terms can be added. Negative 24ab added to negative 24ab gives you negative 48ab, and that gives you the same result as 64a squared minus 48ab plus 9b squared is the result. Okay. Now we will look at another special product, a very important class of special product. It's called multiplying the sum and a difference. Multiplying the sum and a difference. Listen to this carefully and learn it. We will use it all along our course. Alright, multiply a plus b times a minus b. Can you multiply that the normal way? What is the normal way? A multiplied by a minus b plus b multiplied by a minus b. There you are. So that will be a times a minus b plus b times a minus b. Now multiply. A times a is a squared. A times negative b is negative ab. Alright, we finished this. Plus b times a is plus ab. Plus b times negative b is minus b squared. Now you notice one thing. The middle terms, negative ab plus ab, simply cancels. And that gives us the result a squared minus b squared. That means the sum of two numbers, a plus b, multiplied by the difference of the same two numbers, a plus b times a minus b, has only two terms. Why? The middle terms simply cancel. What are the two terms? The two terms are the square of the first number minus, always it will be minus, minus the square of the second number. You see, a plus b times a minus b is a squared minus b squared. A very simple result, a very important result that you cannot forget. So, multiplying the sum of two numbers with the difference of the same two numbers will be what? Will be the difference of their squares. This is called the difference of the squares of the numbers. A squared minus b squared. Now, we can actually use numbers to do that. Alright, let's have a look at it. What is 10 plus 5 times 10 minus 5? Can you tell me what that is going to be? 10 plus 5 times 10 minus 5. The sum of two numbers multiplied by the difference of the same two numbers will be the square of the first number minus the square of the second number. So that will be 10 squared minus 5 squared. Now 10 squared is 100, 5 squared is 25. That gives us the result 75. See? 10 plus 5 multiplied by 10 minus 5. Well, you know 10 plus 5 is 15. 10 minus 5 is 5. 15 times 5 is 75. Is that right? Okay, let's practice with more examples. Oh, I have it right there. Yes. 10 minus 5 times 10 plus 5 is 10 squared minus 5 squared. Now, watch the way I wrote it. It doesn't matter whether I write the sum first or the difference first. It doesn't matter. It can be a plus b times a minus b, or a minus b times a plus b. It makes no difference. The result will always be a squared minus b squared. So 10 minus 5 times 10 plus 5 is 10 squared minus 5 squared, and that of course is 75. We just saw that. Okay, how about this? Multiply x plus 4 times x minus 4. Can you do that? Very simple. X plus 4 times x minus 4 will be x squared minus 4 squared. Is that right? The first number is x and the second number is 4. The square of the first number is x squared. The square of the second number is 16. So the result will be x squared minus 16. Square of the first minus the square of the second. So x plus 4 times x minus 4 is x squared minus 16. Okay. Can you tell me what this is going to be? Multiply 5p minus 9q times 5p plus 9q. 5p is the first quantity, 9q is the second quantity. So what will be the result? The result will be, let's do it mentally before we write down the steps. The result will be the square of 5p. What is the square of 5p? It's 25p squared. Minus the square of the second quantity. The square of 9q is 81q squared. Very simple. So, the first number is 5p and the second number is 9q. What all we need to do is find the square of each of those. The square of 5p squared is 5 squared is 25p squared. And the square of the second quantity is 9q all squared. That is 9 squared is 81q squared. Alright? Now the result is the square of the first minus the square of the second. That is 25p squared minus 81q squared. Alright? Ready for another one? Okay. Fractions again. 7a minus 1 over 6 times 7a plus 1 over 6. What are the two numbers that we have here? The two numbers are, the first number is 7a and the other is 1 over 6. You don't need to worry about the sign, because as long as one is the sum of the two numbers and the other is the difference of the same two numbers, the result will be the square of the first minus the square of the second. Okay, so the first number is 7a and the second number is 1 over 6. And the result will be the square of the first minus the square of the second. What is the square of the first number? 7a all squared. And that will be 7 squared is 49a squared. And what is the square of the second number? The number is 1 over 6. What do you get if you square it? It's 1 over 6 squared, which will be 1 squared divided by 6 squared. That is 1 over 36. Can you write the result of this multiplication therefore? The result will be the square of the first number minus the square of the second number. Right? The result is the square of the first minus the square of the second. That will be 49a squared minus 1 over 36. Okay. Another one. Multiply 2x minus 3 times 2x plus 3. Alright, if you can turn the video off and do this on your own. 2x minus 3 times 2x plus 3. The answer can come out of you just like that. Is that right? The square of the first is 4x squared. The square of the second is 9. It will be 4x squared minus 9. Right. So, 2x minus 3 times 2x plus 3 is square of the first number, 2x all squared minus 3 squared. What is 2x all squared? Is 4x squared minus 3 squared is 9. Is 4x squared minus 9. Another one. Multiply 2x minus 3 times 5x squared plus 5. Now, does it belong to any of the special product we talked about this lesson? No, it doesn't. So, you need to go back and do it the traditional way. What is the traditional way of multiplying two binomials? Well, you take the first term of the first binomial, multiply it with the second binomial. Then take the second term of the first binomial, multiply it with the second binomial. Alright, so that is 2x multiplied by 5x squared plus 5 minus 3 multiplied by 5x squared plus 5. Always keep track of the signs. And now multiply 2x multiplied by 5x squared plus 2x multiplied by 5. That finishes the first term. Minus 3 multiplied by 5x squared. Is that right? Minus 3 multiplied by positive 5. And now we multiply each of these numbers. What is 2x multiplied by 5x squared? That will be 2 times 5 is 10. X times x squared is x cubed. Plus 2x multiplied by 5 is 10x. Minus 3 times 5 is 15, x squared, minus 15. Well, there is some abnormality about the way this polynomial is written. What is the abnormality? the powers are not in the proper order. So we need to write negative 15x squared plus 10x, you see. So the actual form you need to write is 10x cubed minus 15x squared plus 10x minus 15 is the correct form of writing it. Well, there isn't much complexity about multiplying polynomials. Alright, so I'm sure you will find it comfortable doing the homework. So go and do all the homework, and the next lesson in this unit, that will be the last lesson for the unit, is dividing polynomials. Dividing polynomials. And I will see you for that lesson in a little while. Okay?